Uh, I held back on talking about this earlier. I wanted to give the Kansas City Chiefs fans enough time to settle down and hopefully get over the emotional trauma of the Chiefs getting blown out in the Super Bowl. I try to have a little compassion for them. I figured I'd give them a few minutes. I don't want to dive right into it first thing this morning while they were still suffering. I had said, I got a real good friend. He loves his Chiefs. And we bust each other's balls. And I said, well, I have a feeling, something, I look at things over the course of a season. And over the course of the season, the Kansas City Chiefs were not the same dominant team they were in the previous season when they won their last Super Bowl. They were not the same team. You could see it. The whole dynamics. They did not have that dominance that they had before. They had a lot of close wins, and I know everything was brought into refs helping them, and I'm not even going to get into that. But even in the cases where they said, well, the refs were helping them, they didn't have the same dominating wins that they had had the previous season. Philly's wins were much more dominant, and they were only one loss apart from each other. Chiefs had that one loss late in the season, and I think they really didn't care. It was their B team they sent in. They're getting now, real deep into the playoffs. They wanted to rest their starters. A lot of teams will do that. Yeah, they'll give up a win that's a meaningless win. They're already in the playoffs. They walked up their division, so why risk? And the season gets long. Come the end of the season, a lot of players are pretty beat up and hurt at the time. They're still playing, but gives them a little chance to rest. So that's kind of like a gimme. Hey, we'll give away a loss. It's okay. We don't need a win. Philly's wins all season were very dominating wins. They had two losses, and their two losses were real close losses. The whole dynamic of each team was diametrically opposed to how it was the previous season. Kansas City looked weak in a lot of areas. Their offensive line was struggling. They weren't giving Mahomes as much protection. Mahomes got whacked around yesterday, got sacked how many times? And Philly did not blitz, not even once. They got to Patrick so many times with only 4 defensive linemen. Not once did they blitz bringing in linebackers. They didn't have to. They got the most out of the least amount of players. That shows how dominating their defensive line was. Their offensive line was able to give Hurts all the protection he needed and more. And what they're saying this morning, and I agree, I found myself saying that with my son-in-law yesterday. This is the worst game of the season that the Kansas City Chiefs played. The worst game of the season, and it came at the worst time. Patrick Mahomes played the worst game of his career, and it came at the worst time. Philly deserved to win. And I have to admit, there's been a lot of controversy over the season with referees favoring one team over another, and it does happen at times. Come on, get real. It does happen at times. It's happened over the course of many years. There's a lot of internal politics that go on with the NFL commissioner, and certain teams have it in for other teams because this team is in their division and they just can't beat them. They know they can't beat this team, so they try to do everything they can to discredit them, get players, sidelined and punished and banned for so many games. Believe me, sports is about money, man. And there's a lot of ass kissing and a lot of favoritism. It comes with the territory. There's a lot of politics, a lot of internal maneuverings, and to help some teams boost them up, to knock some teams down and discredit teams. This goes back to the days of Dallas when they were a dominant team, man. Man, so many teams went after them, accused them of cheating. The same thing happened with the 49ers with Joe Montana. It happened with the Patriots. They say everybody hates a winner at times, A lot of people are doing that with Kansas City. Accusations that I don't want to get into any of that. But the one thing I will say is that Yesterday was a very wide open game. They just let them play. Both teams played. You know, you can call a penalty on every fucking play. It's going to be a trip, a hold, a little bit of a touch of a face mask. You know, oh, he slammed him to the ground too hard, you know, roughing the passer. All this shit's always going to happen. But I'm glad at least in the most important game of the season, they just let both teams go out there and play. They called the flag here and there, but both teams got away with a lot of shit. As it should be, in my opinion. You know, some people just watch football, others follow football. We look for the little inside things, the dynamics of it. Kansas City Chiefs were not the same team they were in the previous season. Now this caused a problem. Here's where the real big breaking news comes in. Taylor Swift has filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Fox Network that aired the game and against Travis Kelce, her boyfriend. Well, I'll get into that. There's even more to that story. Because the Fox Network did not show her as many times as she wanted to be shown, as she usually gets shown with every Kansas City game, up in the skybox. The fuck is she doing slamming? With Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend, jumping up and down, hugging each other, cheering. She's claiming discrimination, not getting the proper airtime she should be getting during a game that she's become very used to. And now she's also having Travis Kelce as a co-defendant, blaming him as the root cause for why she was not being shown as often as she should have been shown, cheering in the skybox with Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend because he didn't play well. He didn't get as many catches as he should have. He didn't score as many touchdowns as he should have that she's used to him doing. So she's blaming him for causing Fox to not show her as many times as she should have been shown during the game that she's used to. And now she's taken it a step further, getting her revenge on Travis. Normally when she breaks up with a boyfriend, she writes a nasty hit song about him, bashing the fuck out of him. But she's not doing that to Travis. She dumped him right after the game. She wants her revenge to really hurt. So rather than write a nasty breakup song about Travis, she is going to start dating every player on the Philadelphia Eagles. Have a great day.